Welcome everyone to another episode of the Lab Club. Today we're going to be talking about embodiment, and basically how you can explain that is going from I'm trying to be or I want to be to I am, and why that is so important and how that can really change things. So there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this, but we think a good place to start is asking yourself, if you already were that person, what would you be doing right now?
I really love that.
Yeah, it's such a powerful question.
Yeah.
And it's such a small shift from I want to be to I am, but it's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. And I also think like when you say I'm trying to be or I want to be, it's like out of your hands. It's not something that you can like be because it's out of your reach. Like I want to be this, then you don't have it. It's a lack way of speaking and you might not think about it. And I think I am also guilty of this. Like I don't always say I am something. I can say that I want things. But I think it's really good to just practice that when it comes to changing your mindset, especially when you want to change a habit, I think. Like, yes, like I'm trying to be healthy and I am healthy. Those are very different ways of speaking. Trying is like, you're not actually doing it. You're just saying, I would like to be like this, but I don't actually embody it. So I do think saying I am is important because so many things are so connected to our idea of our identity. Like this is what I do. This is the type of person that I am. And that would be impossible for me. And to someone else, that's just their daily life. That's what they do every day without considering it even. So I think that's really important, trying to embody the things that you want to be. So if you'd ask yourself, who do I want to become? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to be successful at? And yeah. And we also talked a little bit about asking yourself what that person would do. If you already were successful, what would you do?
Exactly. I think that's such a powerful question. So if you can weave that into your daily life as much as possible with big decisions, with small decisions, I think that's an amazing way to live your life, because then you're sort of always moving forward towards that person. And also like hacking life a little bit, trying to become that person before you are that person. And that's the whole thing, I think, as well. If you become that person, you will have the things that you want, because
Exactly.
they do and they will. And it just makes everything so much easier. I think it's such a small shift, and it doesn't feel significant from I want to I am. But just think about if you smoke, for example, and the difference between I am trying to stop smoking versus I am healthy, or someone that doesn't smoke. So that identity shift is so important.
Yeah. And I also think it's a little bit of like fake it till you make it.
Yes.
That you have to almost like step into that character or that persona, until you actually get there. Your mind is so powerful, and your thoughts and what you tell yourself every day. So it's very powerful to just act from just those thoughts. Like, what would a successful person do in this case? And I also think like motivation is not always going to hold up. Like, you have to hold yourself accountable. And if there's something you want to achieve, you're not going to feel like doing it every day. Like, I don't always feel like going to the gym. And sometimes you have to push yourself a little bit and just be like, I saw an interview, I think it was on Mel Robbins' podcast, with a person that said, like, oh, what did he say? I'd rather suck than skip. It was something like that. I'd rather suck than skip.
Yes, I'm allowed to suck,
Yeah,
but I'm not allowed to skip.
exactly. Yes, that was it. Yeah. So that's what he said. So what he meant, like, okay, so I have to go to the gym, like, or I go to the gym 5 times a week. And he said, like, I have to get there. Like, even if I'm only there for 5 minutes, I do very poorly. Like, it's not a good workout, but I was there. Like, I showed up. And that's just telling your mind that you follow through. And that teaches it discipline.
Yeah. I have this really long morning routine that I've started with. So I do breath work and meditation every morning. And I've actually really used that quote recently. I haven't told you this, so it's really
No?
random that we sort of came across this at the same time. And it's quite extensive. So 45 minutes to 1 hour of breath work and meditation. So that's what I aim for. But I have to do breath work and meditation. And sometimes I do it a bit shorter. Sometimes it's, the right length. But then I really consider that, I'm not allowed to skip, but I'm allowed to suck. Like I'm allowed
Yeah.
to do it less well than I'm supposed to, but I'm not allowed to skip it. Like I have to do it every day. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really good thing to help you keep consistency. Because if the gym's not too far away, then it's not hard to go to the gym for 5 minutes. But then
Mm.
you've still done it. You've still
Yeah.
kept yourself accountable and
Yeah.
consistent.
I think that is such a life hack. It's a bit random, but just having your gym close to you is
Yes.
such an like just make it easy for yourself. Like don't make it
Yes.
difficult. I have my gym like I used to have it in like central town, so it was like a 15-minute walk, maybe 10. And now it's literally 5 minutes. I don't have any excuse. Like
No,
I didn't
there are
have
no
before
excuses for
either,
that.
but
No.
like it's so close. And
Yes.
it does make it easier. So if you
Always pick the
can,
closest one.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I've
If
learned
you
with
can
gyms
have
as
it
well. Like,
closer.
yes, even if it's not as good, the gym itself, like just pick the closest one because otherwise you'll see the close one and you'll have the excuse of, if I actually went to that gym, it would be
Yeah,
easier. I would be there more,
exactly.
you can sort of create that excuse. But if you're at the closest
Mm,
one, then you can never create that excuse and you will go more. Like the closer it
yeah.
is,
You'll be
you will
reminded
go.
of it as well because it's like
Yes,
you
exactly. You'll
passed it.
see it.
Yeah,
Exactly. Make
yeah,
it easy for yourself.
exactly. Yeah, I really
But I
agree with
think,
that.
yeah. And also with consistency in general, I think thinking about the identity that you want to have or the person that you want to become is a really good way to help you be consistent. Because if you've got a goal vision for who you want to be, then it's much easier to be consistent towards that person.
Yeah, you know where you're going.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
And you
really
can sort of
agree.
see it in front of you, or
Mm,
you can connect to it. It's not
yeah.
just something, I would like to be healthier. It's like, I am a healthy person. And
Mm,
if you can think of how you would be as a healthy person, just act that way. It's
yeah.
a really good motivation.
Mm, yeah. I really agree with that. And I also think like if you believe you can, it will happen. But if you
Yes.
believe like whether you believe it or not, like you're right.
Yes.
So if you believe that you can achieve these things, then you will. And it might take longer than you expected, and patience is a huge thing. But I think also like every successful person has had seasons that we've never seen. Like everyone has gone through something very tough. Like whenever you listen to someone's backstory of how they became successful at whatever they're doing, could be an artist or an actress or president, but whatever they've done, they've had to go through tough times when it felt impossible, but like they stuck through, and I really think that's important to also like we always compare up, and we always look at successful people and think like, oh, they've had it so easy, but we have no idea. So I think it's like just really focusing on yeah, believing that you can and also going into the mindset of that person that you want to become.
Love that.
Yeah. And I also think like it's important when you have like your mindset when you have a bad day is so much more important than when you have a good day because like the bad days can really drag you down. Like I think it's so important to have ways of thinking and like changing your mindset on those days. Like none of us are super productive every single day and doing everything right and like eating perfectly and working out like we're humans and we have emotions and sometimes we have had a bad night with bad sleep. Like we are humans, so we do have bad days, and I think it's just so important to focus on what you do on those days, and how you can get through them and actually do something like have a mental shift, I guess.
Yeah.
And something I like to have in mind, like if I've had a bad day, what I feel is a bad day, and even if it's like 3:30 in the afternoon and I'm like, okay, I didn't work out. I just scrolled on my phone. I watched, I don't know, Netflix or something. Like I didn't do the things that I wanted to do today. And then I'll ask myself, if this was a good day, what would I have done? Like, what feels like a good day to me? You always know what that is. That's like, okay, I would have gone out for a walk. I would have gotten some fresh air. I would have gone to the gym. I would have like done that thing on my list that I need to get done. And it really is like, then you have the answer right there.
Mm,
So, and I'll just restart. I'll be like, well, my day starts now. Like I can restart my day at any time.
I love
Doesn't have
that.
to be a bad day in total. Like I can
No.
flip it.
And I think that a lot of people just give up. If you've
Yeah,
had a day that's bad or a week that's bad, a lot of people just give up and feel like this is just allowed to be a bad week and I'll start on Monday.
exactly.
But you get to decide when you restart.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, what else did I say? Well, exactly. That I'll start on Monday.
Yeah,
It's such a typical one.
it's such a cliche. It really is. It's so easy to say, I'll start on Monday when you're doing something that you don't want to be doing or engaging in a behavior that's not aligned with who you want to be. And I think the important thing is to just remember that it's not easier to start on Monday. It's
No.
easiest to
Yeah.
start now when you're feeling motivation or you caught yourself doing something that you don't want to do. That's when you should change it because otherwise you're just pushing it into the future, making it the future use problem.
Yeah.
And that really is not the greatest solution.
No, exactly. And I also feel like if you think like that, you'll start on Monday, you'll start next week, next month. You're not trying to create a habit. You're not trying to create long-term change. Like that's it's such a different mindset from trying to have balance in your life and try to find a way to like incorporate it into your like actual life and saying I'll start on Monday and nothing is going to fix itself. Like
Yeah.
you have to actually get up and do things. And when you start on Monday, next Monday you might not feel like doing it or like the next day. So it really is like you can't just sit and wait until you feel like doing something
No,
because some days you're really not going to feel like doing it. Like,
no,
but you're just going to have to get up and do it anyway. And
exactly.
yeah, rather, you're allowed to say that quote
You're
again. I keep getting it
you're
wrong.
allowed to, yes, you're allowed to suck, but you're not allowed to skip.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, exactly. But just, I think, just finding ways, whatever resonates with you. I think we have a few like affirmations or quotes, whatever you want to call them, that helps us. And our favorite one is, what if it was easy? What if this
Yes.
thing was easy? I don't know why it's so powerful. I haven't found anything else that works so well as what if it was easy? What if this thing was easy? Like I can lie on the couch with my phone and then I know I have to like film a collaboration or something for my social media and I'm just like it feels heavy and feels like a lot and I'm overthinking it. It can also like be very common if you're a perfectionist. Like it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then I just ask myself, what if it was easy? Well, then I would just get off the couch. I would put up my phone. I would prepare. Like you kind of just mentally break it down somehow. Like,
Yeah.
well, if it was easy, I would just do it this way.
Exactly. I think that's so good when you feel overwhelmed. I use that when I
Yeah.
feel overwhelmed ahead of anything. Just what if it was easy? And that sort of automatically breaks it down in your head into steps almost.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can sort of see the way forward in a much better way
Mm,
and do it the easy way. Because
yeah.
there's always a hard way, there's always an easy way. And often, I
Yeah.
think, in our head, especially when we're overwhelmed, we make
Mm,
things harder than they are, or we imagine things
yeah.
as being harder than they are. But
Exactly.
this is really good shift that you can do
Yeah.
if you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like something is too hard or something's not going to work. And if you ask yourself, what if it was easy? That can really open doors in your head to some really
Mm.
good solutions.
Yeah, exactly. I really love it. And it works with everything. Like also
Yes.
like if your house is a mess, like oh my god, I really need to clean. And it's just like because I can really like sometimes I'm a creative soul, so it can get messy around our house. And like, oh, I've filmed something there, then I've left stuff that like it can get messy. And then I'm just like, oh my god, there's so much to do. It's chaos. I don't know where to start. I think that's the thing. Like also I don't even know where to start. And then you're just like, okay, what if this was easy? Well, I would put on some music. I would like start in one room. Like you, I don't know. It just makes life easier
Mm.
somehow.
Definitely. And I think
Mm.
something that's really good if you're feeling overwhelmed or, your house is a mess and you don't know where to start for that scenario, for example, just do the bare minimum first or set the bar low. Just tell
Yeah.
yourself, I'll do this for 5 minutes. For five
Mm.
minutes, I'll just get, I'll start getting rid of the rubbish. And then you
Mm.
might get into a flow state and just get everything
Yeah.
done in the house, get the house looking great. But I
Exactly.
also think then you've done something, you've achieved something, and you'll feel good about that, even if you only did 5 minutes.
Mm. I think the hardest part is to start with
Yes,
everything. Like it's
exactly.
usually that. It's just the like you imagining something as overwhelming or difficult, and then you actually do it, and it was like this took me 5 minutes, or like this was super easy, even fun.
Yeah.
And so I think we really like our minds can make things harder than they have to be. So
Yes. And
yeah.
also with coming back to embodiment, so we can also make that harder than it needs to be. Thinking about, oh, I would love to be a healthy person that does this and that, and I would love to do this. And I think it really is as simple as thinking about who would you be if you had this, if you were this, if this was your identity, or if it helped, think of another person, think of someone you admire that already has this or does this. What would they do?
Yeah.
So it's such a great way to get there. And it's such a great way to keep consistency and to stay motivated to becoming
Mm.
that version.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think people you look up to can be very powerful. And I think you should use it, like you said, in a way that is inspiring. Like if they can, so can you.
Yes.
As if there's already a person doing this, it's clearly possible to do it. And also
Yes.
like try to not compare yourself to them, but get inspired. So they are showing you that this can be done. And not being like, oh, well, they're so great, so they can do all this, but I'm just little me. But like trying to step into it really. What are their habits and like of a healthy person, for example? Like what would they eat? Like if I was a healthy person, what would I eat? What would I do? Like exercise and yeah, maybe self-care. Like there's so many parts of it. I think it's really, yeah, it's so important.
It is. I think that's the best place to start is habits.
Yeah.
Because if you think about any person, really, habits are such an important part of who
Mm.
they are and what they can achieve, what's possible for them. If you wake up and get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning versus if you lie in bed and scroll until 11, then that's going to be a very, very different outlook on your day. Basically, you're going to be
Yeah.
able to achieve different things. You're not going to be able to maybe, run a company if you do that. Just as an example, habits in general are a great place to start if you want to
Yeah.
try to embody who you ideally want to be.
So that was our episode on embodiment. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Love Club. Don't forget to follow us on socials. We're at theloveclub.podcast, and we will see you in our next episode.
Bye.